Thank you very much for joining the TT Live webinar on the TT order types. My name is Brian Sneesick, and I will be running this webinar today. This is the final webinar in a series of 3 that will be running for the TT order types. In this webinar, we are going to discuss what the order types are, the benefits of using them, and the different ways to configure them. For any questions you have, please email us at trading-ux@tradingtechnologies.com. Here, we will review the TT timed order type. Timed orders are used to manage orders that need to enter or exit at a certain time or event in a trading day. Examples would be exit by market close or before the release of an economic number. TT timed order parameters schedule an order's start date and time and/or end date and time and may be included as part of all other TT order type orders. Why use TT timed? The order type allows you to set an automated action for when a set time is reached, allowing the user not to have to be by the platform at the requested time. This gives the user more freedom and reduces human error risk with missing a designated order placement at a set time. So I'll review how to use this, and we'll move on to the platform to review the parameters and how to place the order. We'll be testing here in the UAT environment, and we'll be using this February crude contract. To access the TT timed, it's here in the dropdown, the order type dropdown. Under TT order types, you can come here and choose TT timed. Hit this edit button here and it opens up the parameters. We'll go ahead and review this at first before we place an order. So the timed order details here. This is what type of child order it's setting. Is it setting a limit order or a market order? Offset ticks we'll review. This will allow us to either join the last traded price or the bid and ask. This allows us not to have to specify a price that we want our order to enter at. The with a tick feature we'll review as well. This allows the standing order if the opposite side falls below a certain threshold, quantity threshold, it will pay up 1 tick. And then here is important to TT time. This is the precondition details about when the order will actually go in. By default, a TT timed order begins working immediately after submission and continues to work until canceled. You can, however, customize when a TT timed parent order begins working and when it stops. So here, if you hit the start, it'll open up the time parameter, and I can set a start time and date. I can set this on a future date as well. You'll see that it will flash yellow when I do have a future date. You could also set the time for when the order to end. And again, I could do that at a future date. If I have set a time for the algo to stop working, then I can actually do an at-end action for any remaining balance. So if I am working a limit order that's been working for the set time parameter, I can actually have it go to the market at the end if I set an end action right here. So if I set an end time, I can have it go to the market. Or I can just have it cancel if I don't want to have it filled. All right, so order resubmit upon GTD expiry. So this is valid only when the child order is day. If any child orders are not completely filled by the session close, the exchange will expire the child orders. When the market reopens, the parent order will then resubmit the child orders with the same parameters as when they expired. So this section here, this would be the parent. So if I said GTC or if I said day, this is the parent algo. This section here, so if I set this as GTC and I put this on, this is the child time in force. So if I have this set as day because I don't want the order to work GTC, or if the exchange doesn't take GTCs, I can then go ahead, set the parent to continue to work as a GTC and then resubmit when the exchange reopens. And this order will die at the end of the trading session. And then once it reopens, the algo will fire back up and it'll go ahead and release a child order. All right, so let's just go ahead and set one right now with a specific time. Let's just do it a couple minutes from now. All right, and then we'll have that order we'll just have it work for 2 minutes or so. All right, and then we'll have it cancel at the end as well. Here, I'm gonna set my total quantity as 10. We'll come here, and I want that order to go in at 86.72. Great. All right, if we look in the order book, you'll see here that the parent order is in. I have this column called Send Status, and that's showing that it's waiting right now. If I highlight the order right here, it will send it up to the top, and I can see all the parameters. I see the time that I set. I can see the end action. And here I set the price at 86.72, and you can see that right there, 86.72, that order will go in. All right, so it should be coming up in the next few moments. I can also go about and look here in the MD Trader as well. You can see that the orders in the working column, but it's undisclosed. It's showing 10 lots will come in at 86.72, but we're not working anything. The W is 0, and we're not displaying anything at the moment. So it's undisclosed 10 lots. The order should go in the next few seconds here after 10:30 is reached, as long as my time is coordinated correctly. All right, so then also I could go about and place another type of timed order as well. So here, if I open this up, I could say instead of I want a limit order sent, but you know what? I don't want to specify the price. What I want to happen is I want it to join the bid. All right, and then with that, once it joins the bid, I then want it to work with a tick, so that if it falls below a threshold of 1, if we get to a threshold of 1, it'll go ahead and pay up. This one, I will, just for time's sake here, I will just make this go in now and be a day order. Okay. We'll make this, let's make this one a 5 lot. And you'll notice here, I didn't place this order yet, but our original timed order did go in. And now I'm working a 10 lot. And again, this changes, right? So working 10 at 86.72. Working 10 at 86.72, and that'll continue to work until 10:32, and then that will cancel. All right, let's go back to this section again. Again, I'm going to place this order directly into the market now, just so that we can see the it joining the bid. It'll join the bid at 86.72 as well, and then we'll watch the reprice. So here we'll go ahead and we'll place this order. And since I'm using offset with bid, even if I click down here, the order understands where to place it. So it went ahead and it placed this new 5 lot. You can see right here, this purple line, right? Since status is working now, same on my other one. They're both working, the parent orders are working, and below that is nested the child orders. Both child orders are working in the market at this time. Both are working at 86.72. So this one's going to cancel out soon once we hit that time. But this one here, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to, in another account, go and buy 1 lot. All right, and we'll set this again, buy this lot here. Great. All right, so you'll notice here the with a tick feature actually paid up 1 tick. So now my 5 lot is actually working at 86.73. So it did pay up the 1 tick on the child order. Now this timed order here, that'll continue working since I made that a day order. But if we check out the audit trail, you'll notice right here, the order went in at 86.72. Once we breached that threshold that we set with the tick, it went ahead and repriced itself. So that was about a second later or so at 86.63. And now that order's still working at 86.63. You'll hear a sound, and now we only have 1 order working. So this is the 1 order that we used to join the bid with the tick is went ahead and it paid up 1 tick. The other order has now canceled itself. And now that order was only working for 2 minutes. Once we reached that end time, it did cancel itself. So that's the basics of TT timed. We could go ahead and, like I said, apply TT timed to any other order types as well. So you'll notice that here in the precondition details section. Yeah, let me just go ahead. I could add time. As well as TT time though, I can create custom templates as well. So let's say I have on TT timed every day at 2 p.m., maybe at 2:28, I have to go ahead and place this order, and then I want it to work. And then I want it to go to the market if it doesn't get filled. So then here, I could go and add template, TT timed test, and that'll save. So then I could choose that when I come into TT timed. I could hit this drop down, and then it'll bring out the parameters that I saved. This will roll to the next day too. Once this time passes, this then, if I brought it up after that, it would be yellow and would show the 22nd as well. And I could create a custom action button and assign it too. There we go. Click that on and off. And there, you'll see. It opens up the parameters with what I had set. All right, next we will cover the TT time duration order type, which encompasses TT timed as well. What is the TT time duration order type? It is an order type that slices a large quantity order into smaller disclosed order portions for a specified duration to achieve the total goal quantity. Child order portions are entered into the market based on an interval or a disclosed quantity. A TT time duration order defines the total time desired to achieve the total goal quantity. You can set either the total time or specific begin and end times. When specific begin and end times are entered, the difference between the two is calculated to determine the total time duration for the order. Child order portions are submitted during the specified time duration to achieve the total goal quantity. Why use it? Large single orders often impact the market and change asset prices. Time duration orders minimize this impact to keep prices closer to real market conditions. Traders with a requirement of high volume trading use time duration to execute their orders in smaller parts over a specified time range. This way, the execution becomes smoother. TT time duration allows you to set an automated action over a set time span, allowing the user not to have to be by the platform at that requested time. This gives the user more freedom and reduces human error risk. All right, we'll move on to the platform. We'll go through how to customize the child order parameters, flexible parent order settings, and what happens if the order is not filled at the end of the algo time span. TT time duration is in the order type dropdown. We come to the TT order types, and we choose TT time duration. Here you see this edit button. That'll move the parameter if you want to move it up higher. We'll start with the slice details here. You can either do an interval or a disclose. I will go through both of them right now. We'll place one for each. Interval right here. Then we could set the duration type. Here I'll keep the duration type for a certain amount of minutes. We'll reduce that down. We'll just do a 5 minute. 20 seconds. And then here we'll put our total quantity. We'll do 100 lots. And then here, now we can hit this magnifying glass and it shows every 20 seconds. We'll be releasing 7 lot or a 6 lot to achieve that 5 minute duration to do 100 lots, releasing an order every 20 seconds. Child order details, just for this one now, we'll make this market. If it's market, then you just, leftover action doesn't matter, but we'll go ahead and just say go to market there. Precondition details, we want this order to go in now. All right, and again, you hit the magnifying glass and it'll say every 20 seconds we're releasing an order. All right, we'll come to here, go ahead, we'll place our order, and the order went out. So here's the parent order at the top. You see type is TT time duration. Here's the first slice that went out that bought 7 at the market at 86.44 was the price that it executed at. 7 lots are done on the parent. We're still working 100. You see here the synth status is working for the parent. The next slice just went out. 14 now are done. Again, 86.44 was the price. And then we can see down here our average as well. 86.44. We can drill into here. See the different slices that are coming out. There we go. All right, so that's just a basic time duration, just sending out a market order using interval. I'm actually just gonna go ahead and pause this. I did pause the algo. You can pause the an algo using your toolbar right here. You come to settings and then come down to toolbar buttons. And then you can add it there. Which I did. And then I can resume the algo if I want. Just leave that alone for a minute. I'll collapse it as well. All right, so here I'm going to open this back up again, and now let's take a look at disclose. So disclose comes out. How many lots do I want to disclose on each slice? So here I want to say, you know what? I want to disclose only 3 on each slice, and I want the duration still to be 5 minutes. We'll keep it the same. You can set a specific time for it to start. Looks like this, and then an end time as well. But we're going to go ahead and just keep these both at the, right now, at duration. All right, so again, we're going to disclose 3 lots. We're going to do a total of 100. We hit the magnifying glass. So every 8 seconds, you can see the span here, 9 seconds, looks like 8 or 9 seconds. It's going to be releasing an order of 3 lots. And then the last slice is going to come out as a 1 lot to catch up there. All right, again, we're just going to do a market order. We'll go ahead and we'll place this order. Let me add some more size from a different account. This level. Great. Okay. So again, if I move away, that does keep the parameters that I set. All right, here we go. Place a 100 lot. All right, again, here's this new order that went out. This one now is working. See, this one's still paused. So this one right here is working. This in status. We released our first 3 lots. Now we just released our next 3 lots. We have a total of 6 done, partially filled. If I click here, I could go ahead and I can see that this is disclosed. On the parent, it sends the parameters up to this section where I can check to see what everything is set. Make changes if I need to on the parent. If I needed to change the total quantity, I could do that there as well. All right, so those are the 2 basic time duration order types that you could place. Just simple slice details, disclose, or interval using a market order. All right, we'll go through some more in-depth ones. Let me just clean this up. All right, next we're going to walk through setting a time duration order type. We'll just make it disclose, but here we'll focus on the child order details. We'll place it as a limit order, and we'll use the offset feature for it to keep joining the bid for each slice, and then the leftover actions. So again, we'll do a duration of just a few minutes. We'll do a 5-minute duration. We'll disclose, let's do 5 lots. Again, we'll do a 100 lot. Again, let me just add some size here. All right, come back to here. Okay, so again, here, we'll take a look. Every 15 seconds, we're releasing a 5 lot. Here's variance, and we can use variance as well on this to mask the size. If we don't want to consistently show the 5 lots, we do a variance. And here you'll see 25%. Some of them be 5, some will be 4, some will be 6. So you can use variance here like you do on the TT iceberg as well. All right, like I said, the child order details here, we're gonna do a limit order. All right, so with this though, we want since we don't know the price, we may want it to join the bid, right? So here we'll go ahead and we'll join the bid. We'll use bid right here. We'll make this 0, so we join at the bid. If it's a negative number, it would move off 1 tick. If it's a positive number, it would move ahead 1 tick. So if the bid is 86.40, negative number, it would join at 86.39. Positive number, it would join at 86.41. All right, but we're going to keep it at 0 at this time. We can use it with the tick feature here. Again, that would be, it would pay up in this regard. If it did join the bid right here, it would automatically pay up to 86.41. If there was this offer down here, we could set the threshold, and then if it fell below that threshold, it would move it up. We won't show that right now. Leftover action though, all right? So we're joining the bid. If it doesn't get filled at the bid, what do we want to do with the slice? Here, we're going to say go to market. You could do pay up and then specify how many ticks you want it to pay up. But then again, that won't guarantee that it will get filled. If you go ahead and do go to market, it will cross the inside market. You could even set how many ticks deep in the market if you wanted to go. Default is 10. That should be enough here. All right. And then you could also do merge, where then it'll cancel the existing slice and then place the new slice with that total amount. So if you were doing, like we said, 5 lots before, it would cancel the 5 lots and then submit a new 10 lot order at that bid. But again, that doesn't guarantee that it's going to get filled. We're just going to show this to get filled right here. And we're saying at the end of the slice. You can also do it at the half-life of the slice. So if our slice was 15 seconds, half would just be about 7.5 seconds, and it would go ahead and then go to market if it's not filled. We're going to do this one at the end right now. And we'll leave the rest of it here. We want it to go in right away. All right, so again, we're going to be placing 100 lot, quantity of 5, a 5-minute duration. We got some variance on there, so we should see a couple different quantities come out. Placing a limit that's going to join on the bid at 86.40, and then after that slice is done, it will go to the market. and then place the next slice. All right, let's place the order. All right, great. So here's our order. It's working it right now, so it's purple. So you're seeing that it's got a child order that's working. It's managing this order at 86.40. That was the bid that it joined. So there's our 6 lots that are working, the first 6 lots. All right, now it just paid up. It paid up, 86.44 we got filled, and now the next 4 went out, and now that joined the bid again at 86.40. And here I can manipulate. I can say, you know what, let's say a new bid comes in, right? All right, that one beat me to it, but here we got a 1 lot working. All right, so now a new 4 lots out. So now we got a total of 10 done, but now there's a new bid at 86.41. So when this one pays up, our next slice should join at 86.41. All right, and there we go. Our next slice went out, and that is at 86.41 right now. And now we have our next order working, and so on and so on. So as the bids, if the market moved higher and the bids moved up with it, because you're using offset here, right here, offset 0 on the bid, it'll continuously track the bid for this time duration order and then pay up as it needs to ensure that you get it done. All right, let me move on to another example of a TT time duration. Okay, so next example we'll do with TT time duration here is we'll place a time duration order. We'll make it simple here. Again, we'll do market. We'll do disclose. We'll do this over, let's say, maybe someone has to buy the close, right, each day. So let's go ahead and clear this to 0. Let's make this, let's just say this is the last, 2 minutes, right? And we just want to go ahead and do 1 lots, right? And we got to buy 100. All right, we're just going to go to the market here. Right? Every day, let's say you have to buy the last 2 minutes before the market closes. You can come down here to this precondition details section here, and you can set when the algo starts, when the algo ends. Okay? So with that, we can go ahead and set, right now it is, let's try and set this a few minutes from now. Yeah. Okay. And then we'll make the, start time 54. The end time, we'll make that 57 for the algo itself. Okay. And now this, go ahead, we could check here. Looks like every second, starting at 13:54, we'll be releasing an order. Let's make it a 3 lot, slow it down a little bit. Great. Okay. And then we'll go ahead, 100 lot, go ahead, place this order. All right, so now the order's working. It's in a sync status of waiting right here. You'll notice that. Status, it is working though. No child orders have been released yet. This should start in about a minute or so. My clock isn't perfectly synced, but that should start releasing. And then once it does, you see here, it's gonna be releasing a 3 lot market order. And then that will work for a 2-minute duration. And then the algo will actually work for another minute, and then the whole algo will cancel as well. We'll do another example after we place this one, just showing what a market order is, where we can then place one that again joins the bid, and then at the we'll show the end action of go to market for anything that's left over on any of the slices. Also, while we have a little bit of time before this starts, you can save these, especially these preconditioned details with a time, especially if this is something that you do daily, as a template, as an order type template. So we'll call this one webinar test. Okay. And then you could make multiple ones of that. You know, you could make just a small change, right? Oops. So go ahead, make a small change. Oh, also something to note, your MD trader, it's got 100 lots up here. That's a time-based order, and now it just disappeared. But that was a time-based order showing that it's not working a child order yet, but you do have a working order in that market that will be releasing a time-based order. All right, the order did release now on the time that we stated, right? So at 54, and now it's releasing our child orders, right? So we got 15 done right now, market orders, and it'll go ahead and it'll fill that over the 2-minute duration until there's nothing left. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and cancel this order real quick and just go ahead and just clear it. Let me just filter out that time. Great. All right, again, so if you create a template, You could create multiple templates if you want, make some of them your favorites. You could adjust the names, throw them out. But after you create the template as well, you can create what's called a custom action button. All right, so we'll come here, edit custom action button, category, order type, choose time duration. Then you could choose that template. And then I can even put a label on there. Maybe it's, I don't know, crude close, right? Hit OK, and there's crude close. I can make up to 20 of these. So whatever markets that maybe that I have to be buying the close, I create the custom action button, quickly just click it on, and then all the parameters I had set. So now since the time is set, it's past the time now. So it's actually going to the next date. It'll show in yellow. So if I do set the time, it'll always roll to the next day. So now even if I come in and try to place this order, I would notice right away that there's yellow there. Obviously tomorrow, it would adjust to the day after and day after as well. It does just roll through the weekend. That's actually a Saturday. But if I went to place this order and the time passed on Sunday for Monday, then I could place it there as well. But it does give you that heads up. And then if you do save this, it does roll that time, that date. So the time will stay, and then you don't have to adjust the date each day. All right, so let me just go ahead and adjust this time again. All right, so let's do 58. And let's go back to today, apply. Let's move this time to 50 to 14. Okay. Great. All right, so again, this time though, I'm going to go ahead and do limit. I'm going to join the bid again. Leftover action though, again, I'm going to say go to market, right, at the end. But here, I have to ensure what happens on that last slice if I don't get filled. So with that, I can say go to market there. Same type of feature for the child order details, but here at the end, anything that's left over when this algo is about to shut down, it'll go ahead and go to market on it. Again, we'll take a look. We need a total quantity. And every 3 seconds, let's do a 5 lot, right? Make it a little slower again. There we go. We'll place this order. All right, the order's working. It's waiting for the time, right? So our time was 58. My clock will a little off sync, but it should send it out a couple seconds after that. And then we'll see. It should be joining the bid right here at 86.40. And then before the next slice comes out, it'll pay up and it'll come up here and it'll buy up at the market at 86.44 and then release the next slice at 86.40. We'll let that one run a little bit. It should be about 2 minutes. So we'll watch that whole one so that we can see the leftover at end action go to market as well to make sure that it cleans everything up. Okay, there we go. The purple now shows that we have a working child order. We released that and now the next 5 lots got hit, paid up. 86.44, there we go. Let me just put some more over here. All right, 20 done now. 5 lots working again at 86.40. And again, if I make the bid higher, let's see the next slice join to 86.41. All right, 40 lots are done. You can collapse this too. Keeps coming out. And we're coming up almost to the time here where the algo will stop working at 1400. And that end action, go to market, will occur. And that's predominantly for that last slice that comes out. The child order details, again, the leftover action here is taking care of all the slices that are sitting here at 86.41. But then that last one, if you set an end time for the algo, it'll make sure that that end action will take it to the market. All right, we're almost coming up on it. 85 out of 100 done. All right, great. So now all 100 lots are done. So it ensured that at the time that the algo, and you see now the algo is in a stop status right there. Since status is stopped, it's totally filled. And it took that last slice, that end action, it took it to the market. It didn't leave that last one sitting there, 86.41. So that's how you could go about and place a order that has a start time at a later date, where then you can have it join the bid. If it doesn't get hit before the next slice, it goes to the market. And then the last slice, if you set it that end time, go to market. and ensure that the entire 100% of your order quantity will get filled. All right, let me go through one more order type for time duration, where we'll use a trigger price to send in the time duration order. Let me just clean this. Okay, so we'll open this up again. I cleared out that template. All right, again, we'll just make it a disclose. We'll do 5 lots. We'll do a total quantity of 100 again. Duration time, we'll just do a few minutes here. Let's do 3 minutes. No variance. We'll go ahead and we'll just make it a market. All right, but here we're going to use the trigger. So when this opens up, we can either put a stop or an if touch price. So then we can say we don't want the time duration to be activated until this trigger occurs. So here, I'll just go ahead, I'll do an if touched order, and we'll go about and we'll say, let's do 86.42 at this time, okay? And we'll say last traded price. So it's gotta, and we can even put a trail on that as well. But we'll keep that off right now. It's a little tough to do that here. But we'll say trigger price. If it trades at 86.42, then I want you to go ahead and release my 100 lot time duration order as I set right here. All right. So here, let me go ahead and place that order. All right, there you go. See it's pending the trigger, the sync status now. Order's working, but it has no child orders at this time. And you can see right there, 86.42, there's my trigger, right? All right, let me go ahead here in a different account and manipulate. All right, we're gonna go ahead now and we're gonna trigger a price at 86.42, and then that will release my time duration order. All right, there we go. So that trigger went off. Now the status, in status, it's working on the parent order. It's not purple because it's not managing any child orders. It's just releasing these market orders that are getting filled that you can see right underneath. So my trigger went off, and you can see here, trigger if touched at 86.42. Once that trade occurred at 86.42, it released my time duration order as I had set here. All right, so that's the different ways, and there's quite a few of them for TT time duration that you can use. Next up, we're going to be covering the TT volume duration order type. A TT volume duration order defines the total amount of traded volume needed to achieve the total order quantity. Users may set TT volume duration parameters as either a desired volume or a disclosed quantity. The interval specifies the number or percentage of contracts that must trade to trigger a slice to enter the market. The TT system calculates the child order portions needed to achieve the total order quantity for the total volume. Why would you want to use this order type? Some traders use the volume duration orders to indicate the timing of buy and sell signals for intraday trading. If an asset's current price is above the volume weighted average, it indicates a bullish trend. Conversely, a price below may suggest a bearish market sentiment. Traders with the requirement of high volume trading use volume duration to execute their orders in smaller parts over a specified time range. This way, the execution becomes smoother. TT volume duration allows you to set an automated action over a set time span, allowing the user not to have to be by the platform at the requested time. This gives the user more freedom and reduces the risk of human error. All right, next we'll move on to the platform where we'll review customizing child order behavior, flexible execution parameters, and automated precondition and triggering. TT volume duration is found in the order type dropdown. It's under the TT order types. And here we'll see TT volume duration. Again, the flyer will come here. If I click edit, it'll bring it up top. All right, so slice details. Well, we'll start here. Total quantity will be here. So let's enter in 50 lots. All right, and then slice type, you can either do interval or disclose. The interval allows you to set how many lots will trade out of your total volume. So here's that interval, and here's the total volume that'll need to be traded. Disclose, same idea, but we're gonna go ahead and release how many lots here, right? How much do you want, or a percentage? And then again, the total duration here is 1,000. So let's show both. Let's do a 50 lot. We'll do an interval of every time 20 lots trade, and we'll do 200 total lots. All right, we hit the magnifying glass there. Every time 20 lots trade, we would be releasing a 5 lot. So on until all 200. Once all 200 trade, volume 200 trades, that's when the last slice will come out. And here, let's take a look at disclose, right? So let's say we want to disclose 5 lots. Again, same idea, right? So every time 20 lots trade, then a 5 lot will go out. If I made this, let's say, a 7 lot, every time 25 lots trade, a 7 lot will go out. And then they'll catch up at the end there, and it'll do 1 lot once the last 200 trade. So that's the difference between disclose and interval. Child order details is down here. Again, you could either release a limit order or a market order. Let's just place one now, just to see the behavior where it releases a market order. We're going to use interval right now. We'll say every time 20 lots trade out of the 200, we want it to release, and it'll release 5 lots. All right, so here we go. A 50 lot here. Go ahead. All right, so there's our order working in the order book. You'll notice there the type, volume duration, total quantity is 50. Since status, it's working, but there's no child orders yet. So this is just sitting here monitoring, and we need 20 lots. If we click here, we'll see we need 20 lots to trade for our first slice to go out. In this other account here, I'll manipulate the market a bit. Here, I'll place a 20 lot. Once I execute here, I'm going to execute, and I'm going to be buying at 44.66.5, all the way up. I'm going to buy up 20 lots, and then this should release a 5 lot market order that should also buy at 44.66.5. Great. Okay, so here, let's just come to, oops. Okay, and here you see the fill. So our order right here, we released the 5 lots. 20 lots did trade. So once 20 lots did trade, it released my first slice, and it released as a market order like we set right here. And right now you see 44.66.5. There we go. Average position right now, 44.66.5. I'm going to make another 20 lots trade in the market, and again, we'll release another 5 lot. All right, another 20 lots traded, and then my 5 lot went back out. 40 is still working on the order quantity. Executed quantity is only 10 right now. And again, I'll go ahead, I'll do 40 lots. We'll make 40 more lots trade. And there we go, 40 lots traded. So now with that was 2 more slices that were released. And here you see the other slices went out. So that's a basic volume duration order. This is set at a total of 200 lots on an interval of every time 20 trade, release a slice. That's a market order. All right, let me move on to another type and clean this one up. All right, so we'll move on here. Again, we'll go to TT volume duration. We'll open this up and we'll make some changes here. We'll actually send the child order now as a limit order. So here, I'm going to change that to limit. And then with that, I want it to actually join the bid when it releases. All right, so I'm going to come here. I'm going to set this as bid, and we're going to set this as 0. And then the leftover action. So once the first slice goes out and it joins the bid, if it doesn't get filled before the next slice is supposed to go out after a certain amount of volume trades, we need to set a leftover action. Here, you can either leave, or you could pay up a certain amount of ticks, or you could go to market, or you can merge it with the next order. We'll just show go to market right here. And then what you can then also choose is it's going to happen at the half-life. So if 10 lots trade, or if we'll do it at the end. Here we'll do it at half-life. And we'll make this go in right now. We'll keep the order similar. All right. So hit the magnifying glass, 5 lots are all coming out. But here I could also add a variance too if I wanted to. So then here, 25% variance should be 4 and 6 lots and some 5s. All right, so once again, we're going to be placing a volume duration order that's going to release a limit order that will join the bid every time 20 lots trade. Okay, oops. Go back here, place this order. All right, there's our working order right now. 50 lots. Again, since status is working, nothing's traded yet, so nothing's released a child order yet, and this will join the bid. All right, let's go ahead here and make 20 lots trade. All right, great. So what happened was first slice was able to be released. See here, since status. Now this is showing purple because now it has a child order that's working below it. Status is working on the algo, since status is still working, and now it released a child order, that limit order right here, and it's working, and it joined that bid at 44.65. And it'll stay there. Now, we said half-life, so let's go ahead and make 10 lots trade. And then that should pay up, and that should go to the market. Great. All right, so 10 lots traded. So that was only half of our desired interval of 20, but with that setting that we had here at half-life, leftover action, it went ahead and it paid up on those 4. So now we have 4 done, but we still need another 10 lots to come out before the next slice comes out. So now we'll go ahead and we'll do another 10 lot volume. And now my next 10 lot was released and it joined the bid again. And now we're working down here at 44.65. Now we're working a 6 lot because we had variance set on it. Again, if I just do half of what's needed, 10 lots, it does pay up. Oh, it looks like we got more done there too. So it looks like we did a total of, right there, we did 4. And then there was more volume that traded at that price. So now we released another 5 lot. So here, you can see the parent, total executed quantity. We've done 10, the 6 and the 4. We're working a child order right now. Working quantity is 5. Total quantity is 50. And we can see even here, percentage filled. We got 20% filled, 10 of 50. Status on the algo is partially filled. And the since status is working. And then this would keep trading until all 200 volume goes off. And then that would execute a total of 50 lots for us. Okay, next let's go and place a volume duration order that actually has a preconditioned start time. All right, so again, let's make this 100 lots here. This time we'll do a disclose, and we'll want to go ahead and disclose, let's say, 4 contracts. Quantity, right? We'll leave the variance alone. We'll go ahead and we'll do this just as a market order right now. And then here the precondition details is down here on the start time. We could use a specific time to start at, or a market state, pre-open or open. And then an end time as well. And then when we do set an end time, it gives us that end time action for our last slice as well. So here, we'll set this to start, let's say, an hour from now. And then make that stop 2 hours from now. All right, so what this will be doing here, every time 40 lots trade, it would go ahead and execute 4 lots until all 1,000 gets traded. We're going to do this as a market order. And then we're also just going to make this, it's only going to work for an hour. This is just going to work for an hour. So if the 1,000 lots, if all 1,000 lots do not trade, then there's no guarantee that all 100 lots are going to get done because it's not going to release. Okay. And then the balance here, we'd say cancel, right? So whatever's not done, we could tell it to cancel. Or if you needed to get all 100 lots done, even if 1,000 lots don't trade, you can go to the market. But here we'll just keep it as cancel. Whatever we get, whatever the volume is that trades, we want to participate with the volume for 4 lots. Every time 40 lots trades, we want to go ahead and be 4 lots. All right, so here we'll go ahead, we'll place this order. And again, you see here, it's not purple because there's no child order working yet. It's working, and the since status here is waiting. All right, so there you go. Time of force is actually GTC because we're telling it when to cancel. Always on this side here, this is the child. We're releasing day orders. And then the parent is here. So the parent time in force is actually GTC because we're telling it to cancel at 2 o'clock, 2:21. All right, so this will start working. This is a good time too to look at creating a template. So here's the time, right? So let's say every day I need to work specifically that time frame for this type of order. I could create a template. I could call it webinar test volume duration. then that'll save it. And then I could choose it and make it one of my favorites if I wanted to. And then I can even go about and make it a custom action button. Then it appears here. I can quickly click it. You'll see all my parameters are saved that I just did. Also, if I have a date selected here, this will roll the date, keep the time, but it will roll the date. And you'll notice if it's not today's date, it'll come in with that yellow bar to give you a warning that that's not for today, that's for tomorrow. All right. We'll move on next to another volume duration example. This one will use a trigger price to release it. Let me just clean this up. Okay, so again, volume duration, come down to here. All right, and then here's the precondition details again, and now we can set a trigger for when this order goes in. All right, so we'll just make this 100 lots here. We'll do an interval, tighter interval. Let's make it 4, let's make it just 20. All right. Trigger price must be set. Let's make the trigger 44.66.5. Let's make it the bid. You could also do a trailing trigger if you wanted to. That would track the bid. Market's not moving here, so we'll just set the trigger price. And then we'll make that just do a market order. Again, every time 20 lots trade, it'll be releasing a 2 lot right now. All right, so let's get that in. All right, so it's pending the trigger. You see it here. Tight, volume duration, it's working. Pending trigger, trigger's 44.66.5. All right, let's go ahead, get some volume in there. All right, and now we should get some execution here. I'm gonna execute at 44.66.5 right now, and then that should release our volume duration order. See here, it's actually working because there was a bid. So that did change already. The sin status changed. So since there is a bid that I place at 44.66.5, our algo is working. It doesn't have any child orders yet because there's been no volume traded. So we'll make some volume. All right, there we go. Here's that order. 2 lots fulfilled. This will go away. Just the time there. Yeah. Okay, so here we have this working. We had 20 lots trade, so it did release the 2 lot. The trigger was hit at 44.66.5 when we did put our bid in there. And now every time 20 lots trade, we'll automatically release another 2 lot. And there we go. All right, so that covers our TT volume duration order type. Again, you can create these custom action buttons, which then save whatever template that you had created. Next, we'll cover the TT with a tick order type. What is a TT with a tick order type? Well, it's a limit order that is automatically repriced 1 tick towards the market based on the price and quantity of the opposite inside market. It works as follows. When the best available price is more than 1 tick away from the limit price, the with a tick order is repriced. If the best available price is 1 tick away and the available quantity drops below a specified threshold, the with a tick order is repriced. So why would someone want to use with a tick? When floor trading was dominant, customers would often give their floor brokers instructions to work in order at a price and give them discretion to pay up a tick if they sensed the market was about to move away from the resting order. With a tick order type is automated to move the order 1 tick if the volume on the opposite side falls below the set threshold, indicating the market is likely to move off current best levels. This will allow the user to capture 1 tick worse, but fill the order with minimal slippage. All right, I think it's best for us to move on to the platform. I'll show you how to configure the parameters here and do some order submission. All right, so with the tick, it would be in the TT order types. You would come to the order type dropdown, scroll down to TT order types, and with the tick is right there. Here the parameter opens up. It's not too much to this one. With the tick, we could say the quantity threshold. If it falls below this threshold, it'll pay up 1 tick, or we can do a percentage as well. Go ahead, we'll do this just as a quantity right now. We'll make this, let's just do 3 at the moment. Here is, we're just gonna be placing a limit on each order type. There is only the option, with the tick is always just a limit order. We can use offset, but we'll just show the basic one right here, right now. All right, so I'll come in here. We'll place an order here at 86.72. And there, since there was nothing at the next level, it automatically paid up. 86.72 is where we placed it. And you'll notice here, with the tick was on. We're using with the tick order type right there. So once we placed it and there was no other offer here at 73 but up at 74, it automatically repriced itself. And now it won't reprice itself again. It only does it once. So here 86.73 is where the order went in on the child order. It automatically repriced. And here if we come to our audit trail, you can see that as well. It went in at 72. Since there wasn't an offer at 73, it automatically paid up that one tick. And now it's working at 86.73. I'm going to cancel that order now. In a different account here, I am going to put some size at 73 now. All right, that's working at 73. Here we can see the offer. Again, I'm going to do the same. I'm going to just do a 10 lot at 72. Again, I'm going to make it a 3 lot threshold. And we'll go ahead and we'll place it right here at 72. All right, now the order went in at 72 because there is an offer at 73 with 3 lots right now. And again, we can see here, I have a 3 lot threshold. In a different account here, I'm going to go ahead and take 2 lots of those right now. All right, great. So now you'll see here, my order repriced itself. It went up, and now I actually got 1 lot done for what was still out there. It did move itself up. It captured 1, and now it's still working 9. Again, the child order, you can see it right here. It went in at 86.72. And then once the threshold went below 3 lots, 86.73, it automatically paid up. And here I can see order originally went in at 72. It worked at 72 until that threshold was breached, and then it paid up to 73. And then right away, we got 1 lot done. And now it's still working 9. So we were able to capture 1 before the market moved away. Okay, next let's take a look at using with the tick, but using offset as well. So again, I blow out the parameters here. I'll keep the threshold as 3 in quantity. And here, if I want, I can then go ahead and place this at the best bid. Offset of 0. I wanted to join the bid right here. So using offset, I can put it at 0 and join the bid on this order. So automatically, it's going to join at 72 and it's going to pay up to 73. And again, that's what happened right there. So my order went in at 86.72. That was the bid. And you can notice that we set this here with offset to 0. And then went ahead, since there was no offer at 73, it automatically paid up that 1 tick. The with the tick functionality is also included on most other TT order types. Here we can do a TT time duration. And then inside here, you'll notice that it actually does have the child order details. I could do a limit order, and I could use with the tick right there. Same idea. If I come and I want to use TT iceberg, again, with each slice that I send out, so I could do a total of 100 lots, and then I could use with the tick here for each slice, and then go ahead. If the threshold falls, it will go ahead and pay up that 1 tick for each slice. So with the tick is a very useful application that is available within not all but most of the TT order types. TT also offers an order management algo of with the tick that can be used on existing working orders. The with the tick OMA gives you the ability to apply with the tick logic to a working order using either the order book or the floating order book widget. The with the tick logic automatically reprices the order 1 tick towards the market based on the price and quantity of the opposite inside market. You can define the minimum quantity that must be available on the opposite side of the market a single tick from the current working order price. If the available quantity at the opposite price is less than your defined quantity, the order is repriced into the market by a single tick. Same idea, it's just you can do this against orders that are already working in your order book. You don't have to specify it with the order type. You can apply this to working orders. There are limitations, though, for adopting orders. The OMA with a tick can adopt exchange orders, TT order types, synthetic order algos, creating an ADL, and child orders of other algos. It cannot, however, adopt order spreader orders, aggregator parent orders, or OTC orders. Okay, let's move on to the platform here and demonstrate how to use the with a tick OMA. I'm going to go ahead and just place an order here. 8671. All right, an order's just working at 8671. Inside the order book, I'm going to highlight this order. I can choose OMA from my toolbar buttons or hit the blue plus here. I'll go ahead and select with a tick. It opens up the parameters. Again, I'm going to make it 3 is the threshold. And go ahead and hit select algo. Try that again. 3 and hit select algo. There we go. All right, so now you'll notice here that the OMA is working above. Since status, it's showing working. And here is my order working at the exchange. All right, there is a 5 lot that's right above. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to hit 4 of those. And then that should lift our order. All right, great. So here you'll notice our order went up to 8672. We did capture 1 lot that was still there. Here, we'll show the audit trail. Again, our order was working at 8671. And then once the threshold was breached, it did pay up the 1 tick to 8672. So that was a working order in our order book, which we then use the OMA algos from our toolbars here. You can go to settings, order book, set order toolbar buttons right here, and you can add those as well. Or you can just hit the blue plus right there and then choose which one you want. Make sure that the order is selected and then go ahead and hit that button, and then that'll launch the algo, the OMA algo with that. So you could do that with any order that you have working, and then here it would nest underneath. So that is the with a tick feature as an OMA algo inside the order book. Hopefully everyone here has gained a comprehensive understanding of the benefits in using the TT order types we covered, as well as their capabilities. As mentioned earlier, this webinar marks the end in a series of 3, giving all participants the opportunities to deepen their knowledge and improve their trading strategies. If you have any questions about the material covered, please email us at training-ux@tradingtechnologies.com. Thank you very much for joining, and we look forward to seeing you for our next webinar topic at a future time.